Hey guys, quick post-recorded intro. Video is a little bit odd. I spend quite a bit of time early in this video explaining some missions I did off-screen on that higher difficulty level to grind for levels, and also I walk you guys through some game mechanics I hadn't shown off too much, including forging weapons, a little bit on soul matching, reforging, and some of the different techniques and things. Basically explaining how I have a different set of equipment that I'm using from what you guys saw last time. So there's quite a bit of explanation of that. If you're not interested at all, I start reading the text of the next side mission at about 16 minutes in, so you can skip ahead to that. But then there's a few minutes of loading screens, and I also go through and show you a little bit of stuff on the skill tree after that. So if you want to jump straight to gameplay, it's about 20 minutes in. So it is what it is. It was a long video with an unusual amount of intro, and this is not making things any better. Actually, add about 1 minute to all those times, because now you've got me talking now. There's also a false outro because I called it a video, but then very early in the next video I kind of wrapped up the mission that I was on. So if you hear me going into an outro, ignore it, because in fact we're going to play through and complete one mission in this video. Alright guys, enjoy. Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Nioh. I'm the Mysterious JG. So this has become my thing that I play off screen right now. I haven't leveled up any characters in any Final Fantasy games or anything in a while. I just keep working on trying to get the equipment sets needed to get through this DLC. And I might have separation anxiety now, or I'm like really getting into trying to get advanced equipment and stuff. But two things. Hey, I've seen videos out there. Nioh 2 is apparently really close to being out. So there's probably not a whole lot of point in dragging my feet and trying to play through this game on like second and third difficulties. This is a game that has some time sinks built into it for people who just want to keep grinding, for sure. But I've done some stuff off screen. I've leveled up to... let me see here. I have leveled up to level 187, and a lot of that has been fighting missions on Way of the Strong difficulty to get, just trying to do quick missions that were fairly easy in order to get locks of hair to unlock new skills. And just playing on Way of the Strong gives you a lot more Amrita. It gives you more Amrita than normal difficulty missions. So that's actually been a way of leveling up that is, let's put it this way, it's less, like, I have to pay attention to what I'm doing so I'm not watching a bunch of riff tracks, but it has actually allowed me to level up a bit and get some new equipment. So as you can see at this point, I now have the green text, which I guess is divine equipment, for every slot except this one, the Oninamida Muramasa. But I actually do have green Oninamida Muramasas. They're just not very high level. And the deal with that is I'd spent a lot of time off-screening the dojo missions fighting Hanzo, because those were the only way, and it took me like well over an hour of just going in there and beating him up as fast as possible. But I eventually got him to drop the smithing text so that I could build the Igajon and stuff. And there's a separate smithing text for the sword, the Kusarigama, and then all of the armor is just one smithing text for the armor. Once I had all the smithing text, I made a... well, for one thing I did... I'll take you to the... because I haven't done a lot of this on screen. So anybody who's watching my LP to learn how to play the game, well, you're already fucked. But at the blacksmith, you have forge, where they can build you a weapon, soul match, where you can take a piece of equipment and then a higher level piece of equipment and take your low level piece of equipment and raise it to the same level as your high level piece of equipment. Then refashion, which is just purely cosmetic, and hair, which is purely purely cosmetic. Then reforge, which I played with a little bit, allows you to change what stuff does, and then disassemble, where you can take junk equipment you don't want and use it to get forging items. So I went to Soul Match, and I kind of misunderstood how much Soul Match costs. So one of my let's say, for example, I wanted to take this level 37 Raikiri and I wanted to make it 100 level 150. Well, as you can see, that's going to cost more gold than I have. And what happened was I had a lot more gold than I do now, and I thought I had I miscounted the number of digits in the soul matching cost and thought it was about 1/10 of my gold. It turns out it was about 85% of my gold got spent all in one go on upgrading. I don't remember which one it was, but it was one of these. I had a green one that Hanzo dropped, and it was only like level 50 something because it was Dojo Mission Hanzo from earlier in the game. And I was like, oh, I've been waiting for one of these green ones to show up. I guess it's really lucky that that even happened. I'll use soul matching and make it level 150. And I thought it was going to cost like 10% of my gold. It cost like 85% of my gold. Now, bear in mind, I haven't spent gold on anything except occasionally buying rifle ammo or cannon ammo in forever. So I've been stockpiling this gold for a lot of videos. But at the same time, I haven't been selling equipment I don't want. I've been junking. You know, you can offload your equipment at the tea house for glory. You can offload your equipment at the shrine for Amrita. You can offload your equipment for gold. I hadn't offloaded equipment for gold in a long time. So, but just the gold I've been picking up from playing, it just completely flushed it. But another thing that you get to do here is forge. So I did, once I had the recipes, you go into forge equipment. And I had to figure all this out with the help of, like, forums and shit. None of this is explained, or at least if it was explained a long time ago. But, like, if you wanted to make a hand cannon, you can see you need... you have gray, yellow, blue, and purple level inputs you can do. But when you get to forge, you can add a divine fragment, and then adding a bunch of divine fragments makes it possible for it to come out like the divine level. So I didn't even realize you could do that, and I looked it up because I was like, no, I'm picking up divine fragments periodically, and I knew that's what I would get if I disassembled legendary or green or divine whatever equipment. So I was kind of like, there's got to be a way that this works, and there is. So one of these things I took... one of my things I got now, I took something that was low level and made it high level. One of them I built myself through the forge command, which was actually a hell of a lot cheaper than soul matching was. Although that gets into how I've been spending my freaking request points. Like, I've got forging costs discounted almost as far as you can discount it. And I had not put points into discounting... reforging costs are pretty heavily discounted. Soul matching is only about halfway discounted, but soul matching I think is the most expensive because you have the option of using your patronage levels, and I'm pretty sure I showed this mechanic earlier. You can use your patronage levels to pay for soul matching. They never give you that option with anything else, so it must be super... I think it is the most expensive overall. But I set my upper and lower limit for forged items as high as possible and discounted my forging, because I decided a long time ago I was going to try to forge some gear, and that's kind of what I did. But that soul matching now I regret because it cost all of my money ever. That being said, reforge is a useful mechanic that I played with. So if I was going to reforge this weapon, you go in, you pick a thing that you don't like, that's a slot that feels wasted, like say damage towards spider. You can switch materials. You can use spirit iron chunks, divine fragments, and anima stones. Divine fragments are the highest level of these. Now, if I were to go down to reforge and press X, which I'm not going to do, it's going to delete damage towards spider and put in a random element. But then the higher level forging thing you put in, the higher your chances of getting something good. So I did that for one or two weapons, and then I found out there was something else I didn't even know about called Temper, where you can go in and actually choose from a list. So let's say I don't want damage towards spider. I could use Umbrasight, which I had 9. I'm down to 5, so I used this 4 times, and I'm really, don't want to do it anymore because apparently you can't really get Umbrasite. Umbrasite is an extremely rare thing to find, and you really get it mostly through multiplayer, which I'm not doing. But it lets you actually pick one of... it lets you pick something specific. So... I know how to get more Divine Fragments. Getting more Umbrasite's a lot more difficult. But the bottom line is, I've gone through, and now I've got pretty much gear. The stuff I'm actually using only has... There's no slots wasted on stuff I don't care about at all. Some of these slots are not on super, super awesome things. But, like, you know, I used Umbrasite to get my Kusarigama, which has consecutive attack damage boost, which is a really good thing to have. And I got it final blow damage plus 17.9%, which means I'm getting, like, you know, for every... I guess, what does that mean? How does the math work? Final blow, which is how you kill human enemies. You knock them down, you hit them with final blows, and now for every 5 damage I deal with a final blow, it's like I get an extra damage point. Because it's a 20% boost, more or less. I also started finally using whetstones to... because, like, I got new ranged weapons, which were, you know, divine. And it took a long time to build up familiarity, and finally I was like, fuck it, I'm gathering whetstones as a regular enemy drop. I'm never using them. I'll just use them. So that's all leveled up. And my Iga Jonin apparel is only level 128, but it's got good boosts, including 47 life. This thing here is, I think it's just one that I got, and I didn't really change it too much. This one was an interesting one. I changed a plus 10 earth defense into shuriken and kunai damage, plus 16%. And I also have thrown weapon plus 23%, so that's a good boost. And something else, I changed versus yokai realm to versus earth on something. I think that might be on the pants that I changed, because the pants... I actually have... Yeah, this is the one that has the versus earth. This is actually better, but I want to start leveling these up because they have gold earned and Amarita earned boosts, which means about the same defense, possibly even better once it gets fully leveled up than what I was using. But I'm going to wear these for now because the only way to level them up, other than using items, which are kind of rare drop, is to... Your familiarity, I believe, increases as you take damage. So I'll go ahead and use these for now. So yeah, basically what I'm getting at is I'm better equipped than I was before. I actually did, like I said, most of what I've been doing off screen is... Like, you know, here I did the Okahazama incident, which is just one where Katsu sends you out to fight some dudes. By and large, I just did side missions that were short. But anything that dropped, like, you know, young samurai locks, young ninja locks, etc., to get more skill for free. Not for free, but you know what I mean. And I tried to do several plot missions to unlock... I was hoping I could do the dojo missions at a higher difficulty level and get better drops, but in fact that doesn't actually work. But I did do several main storyline missions over again, including the really amazing one is I did the one where you go around in that flooded, ruined temple, and at the end you fight the giant jelly monster, where I died like 100 times falling into the water. Yeah, I did that whole mission on the higher difficulty level in probably less than an hour. I just was a whole lot better. Really wished you'd been able to see me play that instead of what you saw on screen, because that was probably one of the most brutally terrible gameplay that I did on screen, was stumble bumming my way through that level. I also did off screen just for the hell of it, and I need to do it on screen eventually. I did Tea Time Entertainment, where Matsunaga, he's a Hide, is like, you know, wants you to entertain him. And what it is a boss, you're in a contained arena, like all these other missions that drop at the end. You're in a contained arena fighting two bosses at the same time. In this case, the big goofy lightning monster boss that has been a recurring boss with the googly eyes, and one of those Raven Tengu guys. So that took me several tries because I kept getting fried by... Anytime I tried to stop for a second and do anything, I would get fried by that, you know, you die in 1 hit, 2 hits top lightning attack the Googly Eye boss has. At one point, I defeated a Raven Tengu, and then I defeated the Googly Eye boss after the Raven Tengu, and a second Raven Tengu shows up, and I was like, oh, dude, like, I don't even care. You are not a big deal after what I've already done. I also finished, let me see. There is a mission that, do not remember what it's called. But there was a mission in one of these areas that unlocked where, what's her name? The Secrets of the Dead. Senji Tome. Or Tome, whatever. She asked you to fight her grandfather. I figured, oh, that'll just be like one fight against a big boss. I can handle that. I got tons of sloth talismans. It ended up actually being an endurance battle against lots of yokai that has a guy show up at the end. So I will show you that one on screen at some point, too. If I get to the end of the Date DLC and I've never shown those off, somebody in the comments remind me, hey, you did some of these... post-game missions that are not considered DLC off screen and never showed us those missions. Because what I want to do now that the video is halfway freaking over is actually go back to the DLC. So we did a Gilded Deception. I actually did this one again off screen, and I can get through it pretty fast, but I have to pay just enough attention, and you can skip almost all the enemies. But you have to pay just enough attention to what you're doing that it's not really something I can just do on autopilot while watching someone else's LPs or doing Mystery Science Theater. I could probably get that good. But honestly, you're not really leveling up as fast as you do doing missions on the next higher difficulty level. And then we did Yokai Country, but we haven't done Wandering Child or Disturbances in the North. The next plot mission, One-Eyed Dragon's Castle. Also on Way of the Strong, I did the entire mission where you fight through a big ninja castle and fight that giant frog at the end, which again went way smoother. Even on the higher difficulty level, it went smoother off screen than it did when I was Let's Playing it. Because I think I just have a much better idea how to fight bosses, particularly with a sloth talisman, which is kind of a win button. And I also did the mission, even though it was shown to be like, you know, they have their recommended level or mission level. Yeah, it was shown to be super high level, but I did that follow-up mission where you just fight the giant frog on the higher difficulty. It wasn't really that bad, but I was doing it in the hopes that it would drop Iga ninja gear, and it really didn't. So let's go ahead and do a Wandering Child, a Wandering Ninja Eye. The Kodama around here are calling for your help. Seems one of their number has been taken prisoner by local outlaws. I don't know what a band of thugs could possibly want with the Kodama. My guess is that one of them has strong connections with the spirit world. With the Iga forces gone, these brigands think they can just do as they please. Well, were the Iga forces ever hanging around in the Tohoku region? I don't know. They've even turned the village of Tono into their stronghold. If you recognize the name, then it's because that's where Hanzo is held captive. So, Engine, shall we help these little critters out? Let's do it. And at the risk of sounding overconfident, I feel like I'm going to do fairly well here. Really setting myself for colossal failure on screen. But coming back to normal difficulty after having done a bunch of stuff on the higher difficulty, I should be good. Even though because it should be more difficult than most of the main story missions, being a DLC mission. But if the projected mission level... If the mission level numbers mean anything, this is not as difficult as some of the missions I've been doing off-screen trying to get good gear and to level up. Tono, an impoverished village nestled sleepily among the mountains, running through its heart is the Sarugaishi River, long said to be a habitat for kappa. Residents of neighboring villages rarely, if ever, venture into Tono on account of the many folkloric tales of yokai that surround the area. However, the village is home to a gold mine used by the Date family to line their pockets, and some say that in amongst all the valuable ore, another kind of special stone can be found. They're talking about Amrita, I think. Maybe Umbrasite. Okay, so we're starting... So, as is often the case of these missions, when you they do the side mission version. We're doing it backwards. We're starting in the boss room. Let me quick show you learned skills. So I maxed out a couple more. Final blow damage is maxed. I think that was the last time we talked, but damage dealt from behind. Basically, I just increased a couple of things using samurai skill points I got from leveling up and from locks of hair. The only passives we have that are good for all builds are thrust attacks. We haven't maxed out our thrust attacks. We have not maxed out... I think it's grapple damage isn't maxed out, because that doesn't come up that often, but it does happen. Yeah, grapple damage, there's 6 more points. If I ever get that far, can be increased one more time. I'm getting grapple damage occasionally. I was getting it quite a bit against Hanzo when fighting him over and over and over again for item drops, actually. But it really only happens against human enemies, and the yokai are the big problem these days. But also thrust attack damage. Some of my attacks, I'm not sure how many, but some of them are probably counting as thrusts. And then eventually, if I just have points to burn, it goes into melee mastery and deadly eye. Over with the ninja stuff, I did get a few... My ninja locks allowed me to upgrade shuriken even more. The point being, now my shuriken are like... I've got like all 3 regular shuriken jutsu equipped, which means I just have tons of shuriken. And with Nioh magic, any points I'm getting now just gradually build up into my elemental resistances. So as you can see, I got like 21 shuriken, 6 poison, and 4 explosive fire shuriken. So that's a lot of shuriken. I also switched my... man, this whole video is just going to be catching up. Sorry, guys. But I switched my my special powers. My Nioh magic, there's the one that extended durations, but in the difficult boss battles, it was just more important to be able to instantly insta-cast than duration. And the same thing with ninja. I've given up long-range weapons. You know what? I'm going to switch them back to what I usually use. But off-screen on the high difficulty levels, I was having to use the instant stuff. It was making it... The pause while you apply magics was making things really difficult. I like it in-game because I like that it takes a second for you to buff. It looks cool, particularly when you're going into a boss fight. It builds tension in my mind. But when I'm running around dodging like 800 enemies trying to reapply my buffs, it wasn't good. Oh. You're going to come down the ladder to fight me. That seems unwise. I wish he would just come over here. Oh, this got really annoying. I'm kind of hoping that guy will leave. That guy yelled, "Irkuzo!" I figured he was a melee guy who was going to come kill me, but... This is what's annoying. I'm trying to avoid situations where I'm fighting 2 at once. Seems like a lot of guys got alerted to my presence here. And my logic there, by the way, was all about, well, if I screw this up, I'm going to be able to retrieve my spirit easily. That was what that was all about. So, what was I saying about how this should be easy? Oh, JG, why do you do this to yourself? Oh, I see. Part of the issue is there's guys in all these frickin' towers. Well, I got shit tons of shuriken. That was sloppy. No, it's just I'm just trying to figure out how to take them out without wasting items. I guess most of these side missions you do not have the ability to replenish. There's not like multiple Kodama shrines in the level. I usually just got one to work with at the beginning, because I have no idea how long this level is going to be. Oh, that was wasteful. I didn't realize how much damage this was going to do. I did upgrade my equipment to boost the damage of shuriken. All right. Now if I can climb up undetected and kill this guy. And I have to bear in mind that the ranged guys usually have fewer hit points. Lots and lots of hand cannon ammo there. Okay, nothing cool up here. Let's see if we can get this ninja who sneak attacked us before. Nobody is dropping elixirs. Oh, you know what? I probably don't have the elixir boost. Well, they're not considered high-level enemies, but I probably don't have the elixir boost drop rate blessing. I probably accidentally have the Amarita boost one on. Need all the coinage I can get. So, I mean, I could be using the radar more, but I'm kind of just exploring this environment. But a lot of the time with these side missions, there's big chunks of the map you don't really need to explore. I see you, friend. So who is shooting at me? Well, you were, but I don't think you were the... Maybe you were the guy. Okay, that didn't go well. So at this point, I'm not using my cool stuff, and I guess I just need to give up and use my cool stuff. I didn't think I needed to, but then I've been kind of screwing up. So here's how I'm going to get to this rifleman who is killing me. And of course, nobody is dropping elixirs. Oh, you are the guy who's shooting at me. That's the theme of this whole level, is guys shooting at you from a range and getting on your nerves. Got burning oil jars. So, considering all the chatting and showing all the off-screening, and there hasn't been a lot of action in this episode, I'm going to let this one go a little long to try to have some useful amount of... Alright. Getting back into the groove here. Thing is, I was off-screening even a little earlier today, so I'm kind of surprised at what a terrible start I got off to, but I'm Kind of back into it now a bit. And I'm beginning to suspect, as the map would indicate, there was no reason at all to come over here. Though you never know what you're going to find in a, you know, a treasure chest where the first time you open it, it has like samurai locks or something, and then every time after that you open it, it has a lesser treasure. They do that a lot, particularly in the main story missions. I don't suppose we could really know without exploring. It's a relief to see this base has fewer of the oh, I got rid of one of them. So if I end up full clearing this zone and then finding out that I didn't need to do that at all, it might be worth it to just go back to the Kodama Shrine. At least somebody dropped a damn elixir. It's about freaking time. Kind of hoping I could... And you know, the other thing is I could be using rifles and hand cannons to take out guys when I catch them sitting around like that. I'm trying to use shuriken because there's no resource cost. I just, the next time I get to a Kodama Shrine, I just replace them all for free. You really would have had me in trouble if you hadn't gone, hmm? Oh, shit. I didn't realize I couldn't recover. I couldn't come back up from that drop. Greater good coat, eh? Greater good coat, eh? Somebody's making some funky noises. Yeah, there's some definite demon stuff going on down there. When did you guys... I thought I eliminated those guys. Oh well. Jeez. I just have to hope that I... Fuck. That didn't work out the way I'd hoped at all, because I didn't realize I hadn't reapplied all my buffs where I can come back and explode. Alright, well, this is not really a great start here, is it? This really isn't going that well. We're going to do a Summoner's Candle just to avoid losing a bunch of Amrita. And I just kind of got to do better. Alright, well, rifle ammo can be replaced at stores, so let's actually use it. Damn it, JG. It is taking me way too long to line up these shots. In all likelihood, one of those two will drop some. I'm hoping this guy actually dropped rifle ammo. He dropped arrows. He had a rifle, by the way. If we fought him, he would have used a rifle against us, not arrows. What the hell? Oh, come on, game. So this is just kind of sucking, because now I've used rifle ammo, which I can't actually replace unless somebody actually drops it. Any of these items, I'm like, okay, if I have a bad round, I'm potentially out of Summoner's Candle, but that's it. But then I suddenly can't frickin' do anything without wasting a bunch of ammo. Rifle ammo ×1. Well, I got half of it back, I guess. That's what I thought. Open from the other side. I was suspecting that anyway, because that would necessitate a trip through that whole zone before, where I was like, I don't even know if I needed to come here. Well, if that door is locked, then you do. I didn't open this. I got my rifle ammo more than restocked. Matter of fact, now it's like, well, if I'd known there was that much in there, I would have been using more. I know you're there. Ah, good grief. I was blocking! I knew I was! Well, that's one way to max out your familiarity with your new ninja pants, is to just be terrible at the game and receive lots of damage. So let me switch them back to this version, because it has toughness and life boosts rather than increasing your gold and experience drops. I knew he was there. Why did I let that happen? Alright, that worked out okay. For a minute there, I thought I'd totally screwed that up. I made a decision to race after this guy. And I don't really care what you drop, to tell you the truth. Skip those two guys over there. Try to at least get back to where I kind of was, where I died before. Maybe even open that frickin' door. See if it's possible to get around these guys. Well, actually, it should be. Should be able to come over here. Yeah. Easy peasy. Hi, buddy. Come on, game. I'm doing the super cool Kusarigama techniques, and this guy's faster than me. Oh, and it's not even dead. I thought he was dead. And why did I pick up that elixir? I should have taken one first. Oh well. No, it wouldn't have made a difference. I wasn't at 10 elixirs. Let's see what this does for me. It is time to call it a video at this point, actually. So, So there are demons. They're just hanging out over here. I don't know if these guys are just really poor against Kusarigama, but I've actually did well against them off screen. They seem to attack fast, but run out of ki very quickly. Which, I guess those two things make sense together. Ouch. Okay, you can follow me in here. Because once they're out of ki, they get stun locked, I guess. Which means if you're just like spazzing out on the Kusarigama, it's a fairly effective way to fight him. So now, if nothing else, I can open up this door. Is that here? Oh, it's not here, though. I thought... Well, these are the guys who killed me before. Yeah, I'll let you fall. Not that worried about... Oh, no, you're not dead. You're feeling bad. Alright, well, I guess I will get your items after all. Wow, I should have taken an elixir before I picked that one up. I'm kind of hoping I can get to the point where I've got the... got that gate open. Then I'd be one to call it a video. Oh, that guy's about to knock me off the frickin' edge. Is there a guy in here? I think there was. How do I get back over there? There's a... Somebody spotted me. Oh, he's coming. He's on his way, alright. Nobody seems to be shooting me with range, so I'll just wait patiently. And... managed to not look that cool there because I fell off the tower, but... it was still the right strategic... it was still the right piece of strategery. Don't want to miss any coinage. Alright. Am I just going around in circles here? Oh, damn it. I didn't realize that was not a... Oh, that was stupid. That was stupid. I should have knocked down that ladder. Swallowtail armor. I believe I already have a green version of that. Just got a little too close for him to use that hand cannon. He figured he was blow up his own face. I didn't need enemy sense to figure that there'd be some sneaky ninja type hiding over there. Yeah. Well, I had hoped to get to the other side of that gate to create something akin to permanent progress. I had a shot at permanent progress. That I screwed up by not. No. Ooh, yeah. I hear two different people's noises. Oh, you think you can do better than me with a Kusarigama, huh? Well, you made the mistake of trying multiple moves. The only thing I ever do besides that move is I have found out that this is useful against those stupid floaty head elemental ghost guys who were showing up in all of these big boss fights to constantly distract you with just like stun locking you. I hate them a lot. Anyway, 45 minutes is enough. I was hoping to get a little bit better progress, but I'm going to call it a video, and when we come back, we'll be doing stuff. See you then. Hey folks, I'm Serious JG. Welcome back to Let's Play Nioh. It is Wandering Child, and we are rescuing a captured Kodama from outlaws. So I guess I should have realized from that it was going to be mostly human enemies. Although there's still some yokai wandering around the base, because why would the enemies you face be entirely consistent with what the story tells you is going on? How did you die? You just kind of cut down by a rogue. The rogues! Are you a yokai child who's been murdered? No, but I got some inhabited Kodama bowls out of that. I think they have a use in multiplayer. I'm not sure. Normally this complex of stuff yeah, I'm expecting to get ambushed at some point here, but oh, luckily nobody heard that. Hopefully I can lose them. Oh, he survived that? Holy crap. Shot him right in the head. Oh, he's one of those weirdy yokai guys. Oh, they all are. Crap. I have to admit, I haven't gotten any better against these guys since you last saw me, because while I've been doing some off-screening of different missions, they haven't involved these guys. Okay, so you're breathing fire through walls, but it looks like the game kind of realizes you shouldn't be able to do that. So it's letting the graphics show up, but not allowing it to actually work. And again, this guy had a gun, a cannon specifically. When you shoot, when you kill him, he drops arrows. But I got some dung balls. And after all, what is this all really about? It's about dung balls. I suddenly had one of those paranoia attacks where I don't know that I'm recording, so I'm recording. Okay, cool. Otherwise, you would never know. You'll never know just how much. We got a new title at some point. Probably from killing... Oh, never mind. Thought I might have had some more points to spend. Okay, so that's not a gate I get to open. Oh, well, there's the Kodama child. I guess I won the level. If I'd known I was this close to winning the level, I would have let the last video continue. As a matter of fact, we're just going to tack this on to the last video. So, oops. No, Guide to Kodama Shrine. Oh, or is there more than this one? No, this is it. I won. Okay, yeah, no, I'm just gonna actually tack this onto the last video. I'm not gonna make a video out of this. Hopefully, I'll remember to add a title card that says, "Obviously, this is not the end of the video." Yeah, we'll just tack this on. That'll be a fairly long video, though. It'll be like a 50-minute video. You did well, Anjin. You can check your reward later, but it seems the Kodama are delighted. The outlaws must have thought the Kodama could bring them untold fortunes. Guess they got them confused with some other kind of spirit. Still, if all they sought was a little divine protection, then they were not so far off the mark. Speaking of which, the Kodama have taken a real shine to you. And if they speak your name even in these remote parts, I should wager every Kodama in this land knows who you are by now. It must be a tough life being famous. So we got some stuff. Whatever. Guiding him to the shrine doesn't even count towards us having another Kodama. But whatever. So anyway, tacking this on to the last video, and I'll see you guys next time with a real full-length video.